Hi everyone, it's me. Welcome to today's video. We are going to be choosing our very first TBR of the year, and that is of course our January TBR. We've got our trusty little jar here, which I am going to try and actually mix up better this time so we don't get as many repeats of prompts this month as we did last month. And I have my vanilla rooibos tea. That is my tea of today. So good. So to celebrate the first TBR of the year, I want to pick this TBR with a little bit of a twist this month. So we're going to add on another step to the selection process. So we're going to do 5 prompts as normal to pick 5 books for my January TBR. But instead of just like me choosing the books, I'm going to choose 2 books for each prompt. And then I'm going to have you guys on Instagram decide between the 2 for me. So yeah, let's first just pick 2 per prompt. Need to try and get these like prompts on the bottom unstuck from the bottom of the jar because I'm never gonna get those ones if they're just stuck there forever. Maybe I need to get like a knife or something. A long stick of some sort. You know what? One sec. I have a wand. I have a wand and it's going to save the day, as wands always do. All right, Accio prompts. I feel very like witchy right now. I'm gonna be completely honest. Okay, we have to be so mixed up now. Nothing is stuck to the bottom of the jar. The wand worked its magic. She definitely came in handy today, so back in the box she goes. All right, let's do this. First prompt. Why? Okay, so we're doing our January TBR, right? And I have so many seasonal prompts in here that could be so January. Like I have one that's like a book set in the snow, in the winter, etc. You know what I pick up? Literal beach read. Why am I going to be reading a beach read in the middle of January? I don't know, but that's what the jar wants me to do. So we're gonna pick 2 beach reads. I am so not in the mood for this. Oh my gosh, you guys. So literally like on the back, like hidden in the back of my TBR, I had this Elin Hilderbrand because I've been saving this book for like when the summertime comes, because that is when you're supposed to read Elin Hilderbrand novels because they're all set on Nantucket. There's a lot of beach vibes. There's like yacht, like boats and stuff. So I was saving this for the summer, but I just pulled the beach read prompt. So we're very not seasonal with this, but I feel like I can't not include Golden Girl by Elin Hilderbrand with a beach read prompt. And then for the second beach read, this one might be a little bit of a stretch, but Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. This is a rom-com and it's kind of like serial killer-esque, but it does say in the synopsis that we're spending the summer in Florida, so there must be like beachy vibes involved in that. And so these are going to be the 2 for our January beach read picks. I'll set those aside for now. I'm gonna post these all on my Instagram story after I select all 5 prompts, but let's do the second one. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I got that prompt. Oh, okay. We're like, is this gonna be another month of like tricky prompts? So this one is a book you know nothing about, which is kind of an interesting prompt because you would think that like most books I have on my TBR I would know something about, and I do, but I definitely feel like there are books on here that like either have slipped my mind or I've been gifted so I don't know as much about them. Let's see what we can do here. Definitely not a series, like a continuation of a series, because I obviously know what those are. Okay, I've picked my 2. So the first one is Station 11 by Emily John St. Mandel, or I said that in the wrong order, Emily St. John Mandel. And I honestly don't even know what this one is about, which I think makes this perfect for this prompt. So I read, what was the other book by Emily St. John Mandel? Oh my gosh. Everything is slipping my mind today. Sea of Tranquility. That's what I read. Read that like, I don't know, 3 years ago. So I picked up Station 11 because I thought Sea of Tranquility was such an interesting read that I was like, I want to dive more into this author and see like what else she's written out there, because I found that that book was so just like creative and different from anything I had read. So I picked up Station 11 just seeing that it was fairly popular and that it was from Emily St. John Mandel, but I've never read the synopsis of this book, so I literally don't know what this is about. Should I even read the synopsis at this point, or should I keep it unknown? Yeah, this is gonna be the first one for this prompt, a book I don't know much about. And the second one, I'm actually gonna do A Short Walk Through a Wide World by Douglas Westerbeke. This is a book that I just received as like a blind date with a book, White Elephant, from my book club holiday party, so I've never heard of this book until I received it yesterday. This is described as like a light historical fantasy, very Addie LaRue-esque, in where we follow a young girl who's like cursed at the beginning, and then we go through decades of her life trying to like solve or heal this curse. And so yeah, I don't know much about it. I've never read this author before, and I would never have even picked this up off the shelf if I didn't get it as a gift yesterday. So I think this is perfect for this prompt. So these are the two for book I don't know anything about. Okay, third prompt. Please give me book with snow, because that would just be perfect for January. Please. Okay, black cover. I feel like this is gonna be really easy. I think a lot of like fantasy specifically have black covers, or like covers that are mostly black. So I picked up two books that are like mostly black on the cover. Like they have other colors on them obviously, but it's like the base, the background of it is black. So the first one is a book that I'm actually so excited to read. It is Breath of the Dragon. So this was written in collaboration obviously by Fonda Leigh, who is the author of the Jade City series, and then Shannon Leigh, who is actually Bruce Lee's daughter. So this book has a lot of like martial arts. We follow a younger male protagonist. I think he's a teenager. Yeah, he's 16. He's dreaming of becoming this warrior. So he enters a tournament that only happens once every 6 years. There's like dragon scale magic in here, which sounds amazing. And June also needs to redeem his family because there's something that happened, it seems like, where his father caused some big embarrassment or controversy, and so he's trying to redeem his like family name. This sounds absolutely incredible. And then the second one that is kind of a dark black cover is A Study in Drowning by Ava Reid. This I have had for a very long time on my TBR. I think I got this book in my February birthday book shopping haul at the beginning of the year, but I've recently seen a lot of people picking up this book and reading it and loving it. I think it's definitely, it gives like winter vibes, so I think that's why this book is like making a resurgence on social media. This one is like a fairy tale-esque story, I think, maybe like a dark fairy tale. We follow Effie, who has always been haunted by visions of the Fairy King. And the Fairy King is like a fictional character of a book. She's attending architecture college, which is so interesting. I don't think I've read a book where we have a main character studying architecture, and then she enters a contest to redesign the author of this fairy tale book's estate. This sounds really good. I think there's like a bit of academia, like rival students. I honestly would be so happy to read both of these, so you guys are gonna have a tough choice deciding. Fourth prompt, let's see what we get. Involves ocean or water. Okay, we are getting everything but the snow element here, which is the one I want. Okay, I've snuck in snow. I've snuck in snow and ice into this category, and you guys better pick it because I want to read this book so bad. And I feel like I need to read this book in either January or February, so please pick this book for me. Beartown by Fredrik Backman. I've been seeing everyone read this book, and I think it's obviously appropriate because it's very winter. And no, it does not have ocean in it or liquid water, but we have a lake, and I think that is good enough for me. This is about a small town, and I think like the biggest like main focus of the small town, like the only thing it's kind of got going for it, is the hockey team. And so their hockey team, they train on their like frozen lake. I think they are going to compete in this like big national championship, and they're really the last hope that this town has. So we have a lot of expectations on these like young boys on this hockey team, and I've heard it's so good. I've seen people like crying reading it. This is the first in a trilogy, I think, but yeah, I just feel like I need to read this next month in January. Please pick this one for me. Please. And the second one also involves a lake, but this one's not a frozen lake. Definitely has a very different vibe. The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. This is a thriller, obviously. And we follow an actress who has been widowed. She goes to her family's lake house to try and get some peace and quiet, but I think she starts like spying like across the lake on this couple that lives there, and then starts seeing things that maybe she shouldn't have seen. And then there's this whole like mystery thriller aspect of that. So definitely very different vibes, but both of these books are set on lakes. Please pick Beartown. Okay, and we'll do one more to make it 5, and then I'll get these Instagram stories up. What do we have? We have Enemies to Lovers as our 5th prompt. This one, I feel like so many books, I feel like almost all of my books have some sort of enemies to lovers going on, but let's see. Okay, see, the thing is, I really want to continue on in series for January. I want to like get through a lot of the series that I'm in the middle of. So I think I'm gonna pick 2 books that are both like second, third books in series. I'm gonna do 2 YA fantasies for this one. So the first one is Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. So the second book in the Shadow and Bone trilogy. Obviously I don't know like what the endgame couple is going to be in this series yet, but in the first book, Shadow and Bone, I feel like we had a really good setup for an enemies to lovers relationship to develop. So I think this is definitely some sort of an enemies to lovers trope. We have like a shadow guy, like it's very, I don't know, to me it's obvious what's gonna happen, who's gonna end up with who. It's just a matter of fact of how we get there. And the second one is also the second book in a YA fantasy trilogy, and that is Foxglove by Adalyn Grace. This is the second book to Belladonna. The first one literally had like such an enemies to lovers arc. We have a story that's like very poisony, very plant-based, which I love. It's gothic. We have Death, the Grim Reaper, as a literal character in the series, and it's definitely very enemies to lovers. So these are the 2 for enemies to lovers. So those are 5 sets of 2. Let's do our stories. I'm going to take some pictures. Okay, so our first one are silly little January beach reads. The books we don't know very much about is second, black covered books, watery lake books, good old enemies to lovers. Okay, first one. So we're going to color over them. I feel like I should keep like similar color schemes to what the book. I'm gonna like leave bits of it open so maybe you could see like glimpses of it. I don't know. And then blue for Elin Hilderbrand. Oh my god. I think I would prefer Love in the Time of Serial Killers for this one just because it seems like not so like just full summer vibe. So Love in the Time of Serial Killers. We'll do heart for that. We'll do a clock for time, and then maybe a knife for serial killers. And then for Golden Girl, we'll just do a bunch of like beach stuff. So sun, wave, umbrella. Hopefully that's like summery enough. You'll get the hint that I don't want to read like a full summer beach book like that. Pick my TBR, and then I'll put a pole, do an arrow left, an arrow right. Perfect. Okay. That's gonna be our first story. Second one. What should we do for a short walk through a wide world? Maybe like a down arrow for short. Oh, and then the little walking emoji. Then like an earth. No one's gonna know what that means. And for station 11, I honestly don't know what to do for emojis. There's like night sky. It seems very like campy. So like, yeah, that's good. Yeah, something like that. There's like POV time jumps and it says 11 in the title, so I think maybe something to do with time. These ones are so vague. Perfect. And then for our third one, Breath of the Dragon. We definitely need to have some sort of a dragon in there. Oh, maybe like one of those puffs for breath. Breath of the Dragon. Beautiful. And I think we need like a sword or something because we have a lot of like training and fighting. I love that. And a study in drowning. So we have like academia. So like book, architecture. So maybe like a manor, gothic. No, maybe castle. Maybe like this one. And what else? I don't know what. Drowning, like water. We will do this wave one again. I feel like that doesn't suit this vibe. I feel like that one's very loosely based on the book, but we'll do that. Our Beartown one. Why? You know how Instagram like kind of crops your photos? Beartown. So we have to have skating, snow, hockey. Love it. And then house across the lake. We'll do a house. Maybe the water. What else should we do? Maybe like binoculars? Is there binoculars? Oh no, there isn't. Maybe just the 2, like the eyes, like the because we're like spying across the lake. And then our last one, our little YA. The story is giving Wicked. It's giving Elphaba and Glinda. For Foxglove, we'll do a fox, obviously. Death. Ooh, like the drooping rose. Ooh, that one's perfect. And for Siege and Storm, what should we do? Maybe we'll do just like storm clouds and maybe the black heart to signify enemies to lovers. And I think the guy's named the Darkling, so dark heart suits him. I love that. So that's all the polls. I'm going to check in tomorrow or like just whenever the 24 hours are up and see which books won, which books will officially make it to our December TBR. Yay, I'm so excited. That was so much fun. Oh my gosh, I'm so curious to see what you guys voted for. It's 2 days later. Let's look at the results now and see what my official January TBR is going to be. I'm so curious to see if you guys like guessed or were able to guess what books were under the emojis. So if you guys remember, like when you were voting, if you knew what you were voting for, let me know in the comments. Where do I see them? Oh, how do I use Instagram? I haven't looked at the final results of these polls, so we're gonna look at them together for the first time. It's gonna be my real raw reaction here. Okay, our first poll was to choose between Golden Girl and Love in the Time of Serial Killers. I hope you guys picked Love in the Time of Serial Killers because I don't know if we're in the Golden Girl season right now, but let's hope you guys picked right. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, thank goodness. So Love in the Time of Serial Killers won. That was 68% to 32%. So that was like a pretty clear winner. Thank you for that. So Golden Girl we'll put back on the TBR, and we're gonna choose Love in the Time of Serial Killers. The next one was Station 11 or A Short Walk Through a Wide World. I feel like I kind of want A Short Walk Through a Wide World to win just because it's like more fresh in my mind and I'm just like more curious about it. But I have a feeling you guys picked Station 11 because I don't think the emojis were very convincing for A Short Walk Through a Wide World, and I think that like it's more of an unknown book, so a lot of you probably wouldn't even have known what the book under that was. So let's see. Yep. Okay, so 75% of you voted for Station 11 and only 25% voted for A Short Walk. So it's going to be Station 11. For the book I don't know anything about. I think it was black covers next, right? So it was either Breath of the Dragon or A Study in Drowning. I want Breath of the Dragon to win out of these two. I think I'd be happy either way, but just like where I'm leaning towards, I probably would have picked Breath of the Dragon for myself. Let's see. Oh my gosh, you guys are picking pretty well. So Breath of the Dragon won with 55%. 45% of you voted for A Study in Drowning. It's gonna be Breath of the Dragon for our black cover book. For our watery, oceany, lakey book, please choose Beartown, please. I really, really want to read Beartown. Let's see. No, the one I wanted to read the most next month. That was really close though. 51% voted for The House Across the Lake and 49% voted for Beartown. I'm so sad, you guys. You guys have failed me this time around, so Beartown will go back and we'll do House Across the Lake in January. Kind of sad about that one. Maybe I should have put a bear on the emoji. I feel like because I just put figure skates, which aren't even the right type of skates, and just like the snow and the hockey, maybe it looked like a hockey romance or something like that. Maybe I should have put a bear so it was like more obvious as to what it was. So maybe that was my mistake. And then for our last one, our Little Enemies to Lovers pick, I honestly would be happy with either of these. I think if I were to choose, I would maybe do Foxglove out of these two, but that's like, that would probably change. Like maybe tomorrow I'd choose Siege and Storm. So these two are pretty even for me, so I'm gonna be happy either way. 56% of you picked Foxglove and 44 for Siege and Storm. So Foxglove won. Great job, you guys. That means this is our official January TBR. I think this is a pretty good selection. There's some variety. I didn't read a thriller this past month, so maybe it's a good thing that I'm gonna dive into a thriller. But yeah, I really wanted Beartown. I really wanted Beartown. You know what? I'm probably gonna read Beartown anyways. Like I tend to read more than 5 books in a month anyways, so I'm gonna unofficially add Beartown to this. There we have it. That's for January TBR. You guys did like an okay job at the poll selections. Anyways, I'm going to leave you guys here for now. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please leave me a like and a comment. If you don't know what to comment down below, let me know what is on your January TBR. What books do you guys want to read first in 2025? If you like me, subscribe, do that bell thing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!